Alfa Romeo is the only team on the grid not to name their 2022 drive lineup now, and yeah, we've been waiting quite a few weeks for the announcement ever since Valtteri Bottas was announced a few weeks back now. So yeah, I thought I'd run through the candidates that remain. Obviously, it seems like one person is firmly the favourite, but yeah, I'm going to go through a list of other candidates. And just before we start, just a few honourable mentions: Callum Ilon, Robert Schwartzman, Robert Kubica. Yeah, it seems like all of them are kind of out of the running. Kubica, honestly, I don't think it's a surprise. No one really saw him coming back into F1, which is a shame. But yeah, it just wasn't ever going to happen really, even with his sponsorship money. And then two Ferrari juniors, Callum Ilott and Robert Schwartzman. Schwartzman just hasn't had a good enough season in F2, and Callum Ilott now has a full-time drive in IndyCar, which is great for him. So yeah, neither of those will be getting the two seats, especially not helped with that existing relationship with Ferrari over one of their seats now gone, which could impact the first driver that we're going to talk about, which is Antonio Giovinazzi. While Giovinazzi's future for the team is looking unsettled, the contract renewal isn't just out of the window yet. An excellent qualifying performance at Zandvoort and Monza would have helped his case, and Ferrari would be keen to keep the junior driver in his customer team. His chances to keep impressing a team are beginning to elapse, so nothing short of spectacular performances at the remaining races are required to keep Giovinazzi in the frame for the seat, not least due to the influence of other teams trying to put one of their drivers in their cars and pay drivers in. He cannot be discussed for keeping his drive, but the Italian Times at Alfa Romeo is looking like it's starting to run out. Next up is Nick De Vries. Formula E's world champion has been waiting in the wings for an F1 drive for a couple of years, and he's reportedly contacted Alfa team principal Vasseur several times over recent weekends. De Vries' name has also been mentioned to fill Russell's seat before it went to Alex Albon. Given the options available to Alfa Romeo, De Vries appears to have more of an outside chance, and yeah, his chances seem to be fading further away, which is a shame because I would have liked him in F1, but it is understandable. Another name in contention is Nico Hülkenberg. It feels as though it would not be an F1 silly season without mentioning Nico Hülkenberg. The German's name is also being considered. Was also being considered by other teams, so they look to fill one of their seats with a more experienced driver. Hülkenberg said to remain among contenders to take place at Alfa Romeo to revive his career. The current Aston Martin reserve driver admitted his career is likely over in F1, so undoubtedly is an outsider, and Vasseur already claimed that Bottas is team leader. It's unlikely that Hülkenberg would join that team. Next up is Théo Pourchaire. Speaking of younger drivers, it surely will not be long before we see Théo Pourchaire become an F1 driver, but this move may come a little bit too soon for the 18-year-old. The teenage Frenchman looked impressive on his in-season test at the Hungaroring a few weeks back, but as Pourchaire is also a Sauber junior driver, the team have invested interest in him and making sure he makes a step up. The current Formula 2 driver is very seen as one for the future for the team, but Alfa Romeo may want to wait for a year, and I think they will. Another contender is Oscar Piastri. Now, unfortunately, this just seems unlikely. Basically, it looks like he's going to do a Russell and Leclerc, win F3 and F2 straight after one another, and they will be touted as future world champions, while Oscar Piastri just seems to be left on the sidelines, which is a massive shame if he has to sit out next year. It doesn't look like he's going to get the Alfa seat or an F1 seat, which for me is a crime. I just have to hope he gets that Alpine seat for 2023, because of course the favourite is this man, Guanyu Zhou. For Zhou it's all about whether he can secure the super licence points or not. But yeah, let's face it, he is a paid driver for Alfa Romeo for the year, who will just fill in for a year, give them plenty of money, and then Pourchaire comes in that seat alongside Bottas for 2023. That's where it seems like it's going for me. I could be wrong, but I think that's where it's going. But yeah, Zhou, put it this way, he's not a car crash of a driver, he's not awful. At the end of the day, he's had a really, really good season this year, and has pushed Piastri all the way. It does look like he will miss out, but yeah, there's still a few races to go in the championship, so you don't know. So by no means is he an awful driver, But yeah, whether he's F1 or standard or not, I think it just remains to be seen. And it's a shame because, yeah, I would have liked to have seen the Alfa Romeo seat go to other drivers over him. But at the end of the day, it's not an awful choice. But anyway, guys, that's it for the video. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Remember your thoughts, comments down below. Follow me on Twitter, link in the description below for daily F1 news. And subscribe to our channel on the screen right now. That would be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.